Another busy and exciting day here at Winterthorn as we are establishing our latest crop of pepper. We're at Dubai 1 and the team, as you can see behind me, is busy doing the last few steps of a process that started several days ago. On this video, we're going to take a look back at all of the things that we do in order to prepare the beds and get them ready for the big day. Today, Transplant Day. Stay with us. Greetings from the farm. I hope you're well. My name is Chisha Folotia and it's so good to have you back with us again on the Mondo Farms channel. In my hand, I'm holding one of the green pepper seedlings that we are transplanting into the field today. Let's take a quick look at some of the transplants that have already been put down. Our raised beds that we make here are about 50 centimeters wide. And then we plant the transplants, the seedlings, at about 50 centimeters. So from there to here to there to here. And then we use a diagonal pattern. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and so forth. That's so that when this plant grows, its bush comes out here, this one comes out here, this one comes out here. So rather than being next to each other like this and causing each other problems, we do them like this, and then there's ventilation space, there's weeding space, there's space to harvest, and you get a much healthier crop population. On the bed, we put down 2 drip lines. Interestingly, some people use 1 drip line, but here at Mondo Farms in this area, we find that our soils are very sandy. So we've developed a long time ago, we saw somewhere where they were putting 2 drip lines, and we've been using it quite happily ever since. We've been growing pepper here at Mondo Farms for quite a couple of years. The last year or so, we have specialized in eggplant. But a few months ago, we realized that the market price of the eggplant was causing us a challenge in terms of our finances. You look at eggplant, which is this price. You look at pepper, which is this price. Sometimes you've got to make such hard decisions. We love our eggplant, but for now, we're going to shift a little bit away from it and move more into the pepper. What we're growing here on this field is going to be harvested as green. All pepper start out green. Most fruits start out green. Bananas are green in the beginning. Tomatoes, mangoes, they're all green in the beginning. Then as they ripen, fully ripen, they turn into the color. In the case of peppers, sometimes you get yellow peppers, orange peppers, and red peppers. We're going to be harvesting these ones as green, and we can do that, we have to do that in a way because we're in the open field. We've got another crop of pepper that we're growing in one of our shade houses on Riverside 4, and that one we've got yellow and red. We're able to allow those to turn without losing them to sun scald, which is when the sun burns it while it's still turning, which takes several days because of the shade. So here on the open field at Dubai 1, let's just harvest these as green. We've got another crop of red and yellows that's also being planned for Kimberly Sangwani in a couple of weeks' time as well. Here on Mondo Farms, as we say, we use a practice called succession planting, which means that when you're about to start harvesting your crop, you're already planting the next crop. When you're harvesting that one, you're planting the next one. And that one keeps your finances sort of like going at a steady level. So today's transplanting is just another step in a whole bunch of things that we do in order to produce the beautiful vegetable harvest that we do here at Mondo Farms. Everything starts with the planning. And for this bed here in Dubai 1 and for Dubai 2, the plan was to plant another succession of eggplants. And then through 1 or 2 things that happen when you're farming in the real world, we realized that we didn't have enough eggplant seedlings from our own nursery to actually be able to successfully plant here. And we had just also planted another crop of eggplant on Kondwani 1 at Kimberley. So we said, what can we do with this bed? This field is already ready, almost ready. So what are we going to do here? Fortunately, we were able to source some green pepper seedlings from a seedling planter. Let me say that properly. Young plant raiser, that's the new technical term that's going around in Lusaka West. And we're able to make the order. And within just a couple of days, we had this field ready. So the first thing we do is clear whatever was here before. We had some grass and the team came in and started slashing it.
So hapa ndipo road 1A inasida. So hapa ni 1B. Sianon. So mkasiriza hii straight tube 1B kasira hii. Muzambo kwa hapa kujetifu nushanga kwa avocado zai. Dubai 1 block A. Mamineti segula again mu mafarozi yato haya. So waunjika vimauzo washoka kuti vimasidi vipiretu vaminounjika hivi. Hapa ndipo pera block A mangena mo block B.
Now the fertility trenches are basically 30 centimeter wide by 30 centimeter deep holes or furrows, to use the word, what we call in local language umufolo. That's where that word comes from, by the way. So they're 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter furrows, and we fill those with compost. What is compost? Compost is not manure. Compost is a special substance that we use that we mix chicken manure with some other vegetable material. We cook it for a little bit in one of the special processes that we do. We call it hot compost, and it is very nutritious for the plants. And then we're going to plant our plants so that their roots can come in and establish within that very nutritious mixture. We cannot and we shouldn't use chicken manure or pig manure, goat manure, or any manure in there because the ammonia content is too high. You've often heard stories from farmers all around the world saying how I applied manure and it burned my plants. It wasn't burning. It was just simply poisoned with ammonia because NH3 is some pretty dangerous stuff.
Jericho West Gate 1. Community tenga compost. Not using a good Dubai 1.
For most of our crops here at Mondo Farms these days, we've adopted a 1.5 bed-to-bed spacing. And by doing that continuously, we're able to save a lot of costs on our materials, including our pipes and everything that supply the drip spacing. We've also found that 1.5 meter spacing is a pretty good space that allows everybody to walk around, to do the weeding, allows a lot of ventilation, especially in rain season when the plants grow quite big. And we got very used to it, of course, when we were growing the eggplants, because eggplants grow to be quite a large piece of bush. Sometimes in the comments here on the Mondo Farms channel, we get asked some very specific questions, and I can foresee one of the questions that's going to be asked. How long are your beds that you used for the sweet pepper plant on Dubai 1? The answer is 34 meters. Why 34 meters and not 33 or 32.5 or 31.68? It's simply to do with the size and shape of Dubai 1. We almost always have to work with the size and shape. Back in the day, we used to use irregular spacing. So you'd find that on one side, maybe you were straight, and the other side, the beds would kind of get a little bit longer. We had that back when we did the onions and stuff. But we've enforced a lot more discipline here at Mondo Farms as we've become, let me use the word more professional. That's the word I will use. So now, on a particular bed, that particular field will almost use the same bed length. Advantages of that is that when we come back in to use the same drip tapes on the next crop a few weeks or a year later, we don't have to keep cutting our drip tapes, and we get a lot of much more usage out of the drip tapes. The more you cut it, the more things don't stay the same, even if you put a joiner, etc., etc. But now we're very happy with the standard length for each bed. So you'll find Dubai 1 is 34 meters. Dubai 2A is X meters, I can't remember. Dubai 2B over there, that's another length as well. We were talking about the fertility trenches, right? And so we've made these trenches, we've filled them with compost. We then come back and cover up the beds again, keeping in mind exactly where we had placed the lines. You don't want to put the fertility trench here and then make your bed somewhere else. So you put these markers in there, these pegs in there, and then we raise the beds.
So tiri pa mugwazo watu siriza lero kuimika block A na block B. So mara tukacheche continuous ku raking. So wakazi watusha vitu tivamentenze ku weeding yesterday. So block A road in block B. So nshito ikulu yasira mailo niko raking.
The final step of making the beds is to rake them. We like to produce a flat surface, and we use these rakes to make what we would only call a tabletop. And this tabletop allows for quite good sort of distribution of water and everything. And it's, you know, you don't have amapuruputu or stuff like that. So we make a smooth, flat layer on top, and our beds look like this. Watch this. That's a tabletop.
Dubai 1, block A. raking ata ambapo so na have plumber ambapo ku faka mainline kutambe ma programu ya ma bypass. Jumba tayamba na block B.
So one of the next steps involves installing the drip irrigation. Here at Mondo Farms, we've chosen drip irrigation as a highly effective way of getting water directly to the plant roots. It also conserves a lot of water and also allows us to be able to use a process called fertigation, another process called chemigation, which is when we apply through a Venturi injector the chemicals and the foods and everything that we need to apply to the plant. So while we're watering it, we're able to get our additives and everything into the plant right down at the roots. The next phase is a very important step in getting our beds ready for transplanting. We're almost there. What we do then, once we have the beds dripping and things are moving, the water is getting moist, we then apply two important substances. The first one is we add calcium. We add lime. Back in the days, we used to buy lime in powdered form and you'd have to put it several months before, and it was a whole rigmarole. People used to look white, pofaka. Now, we buy this substance called micronized lime, where the lime particles have been micronized. They're very small and they're able to go through the drip. So using the Venturi, we're then able to put the micronized lime in there. What is the importance of liming your fields before you transplant? It helps to reduce the pH of the soil to neutral or near neutral. And that's because we are planting a new crop and we really need that new crop of seedlings when they're down in the ground to be able to take up the nutrients quite easily. They should find everything easy, packages, and they shouldn't have any problems getting themselves established. The second item that we apply at this stage and we're drenching before we transplant is something that we call recharge. Recharge is a biological insecticide and nematicide that we buy from AgriFocus, and it helps us to kill two terrible things that could be lurking in wait in our ground, waiting to eat our little crops when they come. Nematodes. Nematodes are horrible. They are disgusting, horrible little microworms that just sit there, get inside your plant and make bulges and nodules, and just Google it. Nematodes are bad people. I'm telling you, they're a terrible, terrible thing. But recharge helps us to deal with some of those nematodes and at least make things a little bit better for our plants. You can never fully get rid of nematodes. And some people say we should never really get rid of the things that are in the ground. As farmers, just want to control them a little bit. Number two thing that's also found in the soil that can cause us a lot of problems is cutworms. Cutworms will come along and eat your roots. And then you'll just see your plant go, and it's cut the roots and it's dead. And that can lead to a lot of transplant mortality and crop failure and financial problems and all of that. So by drenching the recharge, we're able to cut down on some of those problems. As you can see, the team is done and they're just about knocking off. It's coming up to 18 hours. It's important to do your transplanting either early in the morning or late in the afternoon. And the reason for that is transplanting is one of the most delicate things you can do to seedlings. And we try to avoid this terrible thing called transplant shock. So by doing things in the early morning or the late afternoon, it does minimize on the transplant shock and reduces your seedling mortality. Lots of technical terms in this here video. Aini, mamona. So let's talk about the seedlings themselves and how we get them and where we get them from, etc. We do grow our own seedlings or some of the vegetables. Back in the day, we used to do some cabbage seedlings on our own nurseries. And over time, we've developed quite a little bit of expertise in eggplant seedlings, especially with the size of the eggplant fields that we grow here at Mondo Farms. This particular one, green pepper, we didn't plant our own seedlings. We sourced them from one of the young plant raisers in Lusaka West, and they gave us a very good price, very good delivery, and we have been very impressed with the quality of these seedlings. They were properly hardened, etc., and gotten ready. I think we're dealing with good people. First time we're buying for them, we shall definitely be back. So the seedlings were collected yesterday in the afternoon from Lusaka, and then I drove up with them here to the farm, out to the farm. And we had to do that the day before transplanting because there's a special process that we do the night before we transplant. Timachezela. We choose to drench our seedlings in a substance called black earth, which is a humate that really helps the seedlings establish. And we do that overnight. The drenching is done for 24 hours. So round about 4 o'clock when I came yesterday and we did the drenching, 4 o'clock today, we come out and we take the seedlings and we bring them out here. It's been a long day, but a good day. Farming has got a lot of ups and downs, a lot of challenges. Recently, we've had severe challenges with the lack of rainfall that has really affected our ability to grow our field crops successfully. But we'll be doing a video all about that very soon and how we've been trying to come in and do some irrigation. Today was all about the transplanting of this green pepper crop here on Dubai 1. We've taken you through the various steps of how we made the decision to grow the crop, moved in quickly to do the bed preps, was able to complete the bed preps, all the things we do to prepare the seedlings before they come and once they come as well. And then we've shown you the transplant process itself as well. We're hoping to start harvesting from this crop in about 4 to 5 weeks. Green pepper is pretty quick in terms of turnaround because you're not allowing it to or having to wait for it to turn into red or yellow or whatever. We're also excited to be back into the pepper market as well. We got into it a little bit last year. We have the other crop in Riverside 4 that we also should be harvesting in the next couple of weeks, and that should help us out financially against all of the other challenges that we've been facing. Here on the Mondo Farms channel, we share our farming journey. Some of our ups and downs, the round and abouts, the good, the bad, the happy and sad. I'm using all the cliches that we do. Oh, one more cliche as we share with you farming in the real world. If you want to keep watching our videos and learning and growing with us here at Mondo Farms, the easiest way to do that is to press the subscribe button. And if you press the bell icon, then YouTube lets you know when another video comes along. Back into 2024, we've started our very first video production, so we are starting to promise you a video every 3 to 4 weeks or so. Now that we're over all the Christmas pressures and schools have opened again, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. That was keeping us quite busy the last couple of weeks. If there's people that you would like to see this video, you can share it with them by pressing the share button and then passing it along to them using Facebook, Instagram, or Telegram, or WhatsApp, or whatever. If you think this video was worthy of your stamp of approval, then please press the share button. Before I go, I gotta say something about that sentence. Please press the share button. So I'm a Bemba mostly, and I have got this thing called mother tongue interference. So despite being quite learned and quite comfortable with the English tongue, it used to be called the Queen's English, now it's King's English because Charles is now the Queen, right? But so every once in a while when I say press the share, the button, I have to be careful because the L's and the R's, they get mixed up here and there. If you've got something to say to us, you can please put that in the comment section below. We do like to read all the comments and we do engage and interact with them. My name is Chisha Folotia, heading back to Lusaka, and I'll see you very soon on the Mondo Farms channel. Shale Nipo. Bye-bye. Greetings from the farm. I hope you're well. It's so good to have you back with us again here on the Mondo Farms channel. Our first video of 2024. Happy New Year, I need to say. By the way, did you notice the new hat? Did I say my name?